Well, in the 70s, we had the first like oil embargo where things shut down. Gas went extremely high. I think it went up to $1 a gallon, and we were all shocked. And we'd love to have that price now. But I really do get worried about energy really makes a nation strong and safe. And what are you guys doing to help individuals, companies? I think you're mainly working with corporations, but really do a better job, be better stewards of the energy they're using, so we can keep growing.
Yeah, no, you're spot on, David. I think it does need to be a concern for businesses, governments, consumers like you and I. I think energy, as you know, is the lifeblood of everything. And as we electrify more and more of our appliances, of our businesses, of our transportation, it's going to become even more critical. And we feel it right at the fuel pump. Like, that's the very tangible item. But then I think a lot of people are seeing it in their utility bills as well. And our customers are coming to us saying in the last year they've seen 40% increases in their utility rates. And how do you build a business around that uncertainty? It's impossible. And so we are firm believers that the energy transition is, a generational opportunity, but it's one that needs to be done in a really purposeful way such that we get profitable and sustainable outcomes. Sustainability shouldn't come at the cost of profitability. When done right, they can go hand in hand. And so that's what we're super passionate about, is how can we support businesses around the world to really adapt to this opportunity, which is we've got access now to technologies where we can get cleaner, cheaper, and more resilient power without having to rely on this kind of monopolistic, centralized infrastructure that we've all come to rely on.
Yeah. And we had that in California. I think they deregulated, I live in California, the energy. And so PG&E was a huge provider here. And they made it so they had to open up the power lines to allow other people to provide whatever. And I've never followed how well that went. But why don't you take a moment now and kind of explain what your company's doing at Vecta to help companies achieve this?
Yeah. So the real opportunity here, David, is that today we're all passive consumers of energy, from you and I to businesses. We pay the utility bill. We don't know where the energy comes from, if we'll get it, and we have no control over the price of it. And in the last few years, the technology prices for solar, for storage, for gas turbines, for electric vehicle charging stations have all aggressively come down. And so the capabilities exist for us to be able to generate and store energy right at our places of work, places of residence. But knowing what technologies to consider, what the opportunity is, how you should go about assessing the options, procuring them. It's a very complex landscape. So what we support our commercial industrial business customers to do is, how am I consuming energy today? What's it costing me? What's my emission profile? And what are my pain points? Is it the escalating costs? Is it the power going off? Is it that I've got emission reduction targets to hit? Is it a combination of those things? What are the solution sets available to me? And then we help them configure the optimal energy configuration for their business. So is it solar? Is it storage? Is it EV chargers? What size should they be? And then how do you competitively go to market and get suppliers to quote you to then come and install that system and operate it? And the real opportunity here is you can install a system that will last for 20 or 30 years, essentially lock in your costs, reduce your emissions. And because now you've got this system at your premises, the security factor of energy resiliency goes up, because you're not now at the end of a fragile, long transmission line that was built 50, 60, 80, 100 years ago, and has the risk of a tree falling on it or a squirrel crawling into a substation and knocking the power out, and you have no control over that. Whereas now you can generate free energy from the sun, from wind, store it in a battery, use it, and reduce your bills accordingly.